Hi, welcome to DP Animations again, and I want to use this particular time to say thank you to all my subscribers. So today we'll be creating a simple intro or montage for a wedding video. Well, a friend asked me to create an intro for a wedding video editing he did, so I did a rough sample for him, and I thought I should share it with you guys. Okay, all right, let's start. So let me open After Effects. Let's create a composition 1500 by 1500, and let's name it wipe. Okay, the duration, let me just make it something like 10 seconds. It's okay. Okay, all right, so I have this. Now let's create a new solid layer. Let's make it white and insert it in. Okay, let's create another composition 1920 by 1080. Okay, let's select it from here. Where is it? 1920 by 1080, and let's name it sim 1. Okay, all right, now let's load some pictures or materials in here first. Before these materials here, let me upload them in. Okay, let me create a folder and load them inside. Let me name the folder pictures. Now let me select them and drag them into the picture folder. All right, so now we can continue. Now let's create another composition 1920 by 1080. Let's name it picture 1. Now let's click and drag one of these pictures in here. Press the S key, then scale it down. Then let me bring it down. So here is enough. Okay, now duplicate picture 1 a couple of times. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now let me open picture 2, picture 3, picture 4, picture 5, and picture 6. Okay, let's replace the images in each of the scenes. So let's see, picture 2. Let me replace the image. Let me scale it down. So let me quickly replace the images in each of the picture columns. Okay. All right. So I'm going to use only 6 picture columns to do this. Now let's come to scene 1. Okay. Let's come to scene 1. Let me clear this. Let me clear this since this picture comes. Okay. Now let's come to scene 1. Now click and drag the wipe into the scene. Okay. Now this is it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select a particular portion on the screen to be the center for my entire project. Okay. So I'll move the wipe and position it to somewhere here. So this particular point will be my pivotal point. Okay. So let me select the anchor point 2, then move the anchor point to this side. Okay. So from here, press S on the keyboard and scale it up. So 150% is okay. All right. So you have something like this. All right. Now select the pen tool, then create a triangular mask or draw a triangular mask on the wipe comb. So let me click outside here, click here, then end it here. Okay. So I have something like this. So this is what I'm going to use first for my base of animation. All right. So press R on the keyboard for rotation. First, our rotation point is 0. Let me set a key at the beginning. Then somewhere, let's say 5 seconds. The rotation cycle, let's go something like -3. So it will be something like this. You see that? Okay. Now select the 2 keys and easy ease them. Easy ease. Then come to the graph editor. Then pull one side in. Okay, pull one side in. So let's see what we have. Okay, so I want the beginning to be fast, not to start slow. I want it to start fast. Okay, so this is okay. You see that? All right, so now let's come back. Now what we are going to do is right click on the wipe composition, come to layer style, then select drop shadow. Okay, so the drop shadow, let's go something like The distance, let's go 0. Then the size, let's go something like 40. Okay. Then the opacity, let's reduce it to something like 40. So this is okay. The size, let me make it 50. Okay. So this is enough. All right. So now duplicate the wipe. Okay. Then off the top one. Then click and drag one picture comb into the scene underneath the wipe. All right. Now come to the track mat. Okay. Then on the track mat, select the track mat, then select alpha matte wipe. All right. So it will alpha matte the picture. So instead of the white layer, you have the picture rather going around. For this is not the particular picture that I want here, but I'm just showing you an example. Okay, so let me undo it. So let me select one of the pictures. Okay, so this one will do. Since the arrow ends here, so let me bring the picture underneath it. Then select alpha matte wipe. Okay, so we have this. So to make the image show well, okay, I want the image to show well. So I'll widen the wipe here. Let me select the masking, then let me widen it up here so that the image will show well. Okay, so this is enough. All right. So let me on the top wiper. Okay. So duplicate the top wiper again, then off the top one. Then the second one, press R on the keyboard for rotation. Then rotate it away from where it is so that the characters underneath will show. You see this? Okay. Now duplicate this again, the wipe. Then the second one, bring it back. Okay, bring it backwards to somewhere here. Then this particular wiper, I'll make it a bit slimmer. So I'll drag it in. Then drag it in. So let me make this one a bit slimmer. So this one is okay. Okay, so let's see. You have something like this. So the wiper now randomly adjust the layers. So this one, I can change the color. Let me apply fill to it. Fill to the slim one. Oh, that's not the slim one. Where's the slim one? This is the slim one. Let me apply fill to the slim one. Then change the color to something like blue. Okay. So this is okay. So you have something like this. Okay. So this one, the slim one, what I'll do is it's opening. Press S on the keyboard and set an ending key. Then bring the timeline backwards. Then the beginning key, make it 0. So you have something like this. It will pop up gradually and come up. So the white wiper, the one on top, I'll bring it up a bit. Then this one, this wiper, I'll fade it out. Press T on the keyboard, then fade it out. Okay. So you have something like this. Duplicate the slim one, then randomly adjust the coming in. Okay, randomly adjust it. Then the rotation, I'll change the rotation to something like 2. Instead of 3, I'll make it -2 rather. So let me make this one 0. Okay. So you have something like this. So the one underneath it, which is this one, you can change the color to something like red. Okay. Red is okay. All right. So from here, let's see what we have. You see that? You see? So the white one, the coming in. Okay, let's fade it a bit in. So let me fade it out a bit. Press the opacity, then set a key, bring the timeline backwards, then go 0. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to use this scene 1 to do the entire thing. Once I finish the scene 1, I can duplicate the scene 1, do a bit of changes to do it. The rest. Okay. So let me duplicate the red one, the slim one. Let me duplicate it. Then move it up. Then the rotation speed, let's go something like -1, -1. Then bring it to somewhere here. So you have something like this. So for now, this is okay. Now let's create another composition. 500 by 500, 500 by 500. Let's name it waves. Waves. Okay. All right. Now inside our wave com, let's insert in a new solid layer. Okay. Then come to effects and presets and type radio waves. Okay. Then apply it to it. Okay. So you have something like this. Let's change the color to white. Then the start width, let's go something like 30. Okay. 30. Then the middle, let me see. Let me insert new solid layer. Let me make it white. Then double click on the ellipse tool. Double click on the ellipse tool to cut a perfect circle. Then scale it down. Okay. So that this will be in the middle there. All right. So you have something like this. Okay. So it's too far apart. Let me close it, the expansion in a bit. So let me see 4. Let me see. Let me make it 3. Okay, so this is enough. Okay. Now from here, let's come back to the scene 1. Let's come to our projects window, then click and drag the waves into our scene. Okay. Then position it at our pivotal point. I think the middle circle there is too big, so let me scale it down a bit more. Let me go something like 10. Let me see. Okay, so 10 is okay. So 10 is okay. All right. Now, the waves, you see that the ending is square. So what we have to do to take it, to make it square rounded, is just double click on the ellipse tool to cut it to a perfect circle. Okay. Now scale it down. Let's scale it down. It looks like still it has become too small. So let me change it back to something like 20. Okay. So this is okay. Let's see. All right. So basically, this is how I created it. Okay. Now let's continue. Right click on the waves, then come to layer start and select drop shadow. Okay. Then come inside the drop shadow. Then the size, let's go 0. Then the distance, let's go something like so let's go something like 20. Then reduce the opacity to something like 30. So this is okay. All right. Let's bring another image in again. But before that, let's duplicate our wipe here. Let me duplicate the wipe here. Okay, let me bring it underneath this one. But the rotation speed, I'll go -2. Okay. Then select one key point, then come to the graph editor. Then open this one up a bit so that it won't be too fast. Okay. So you have something like this. You see? So that it won't be too fast. So let me open it up. Okay. Now let's come back. So beginning here, let's see. This particular one, let me widen. I want it to end I want it to end somewhere here. So let me set a key there. Then take this key off. All right. Then I'll widen the mask to somewhere here. I'm just widen the marks. So this is okay. So you have something like this. All right. So now let's bring another image, another picture comp. Okay. Let's see. So this one, I'll use this one. So click and drag it underneath the wipe. Okay. Then come to the track mat, then alpha mat it. See that it has fit in well. Okay. So from here, all that we have to do is create another white to cover one side of this. Okay. So I'll select the white here. Okay, the white here. I'll duplicate it. Okay. Then the rotation, I'll rotate it to this side. Okay. Let me bring it to this side. So this is okay. So you have something like this. Okay. So you can continue duplicating. You can duplicate the red one, then move, adjust the timeline. Okay. So you want it to rotate once it reaches here. Let me see. To this side. It's also a star. Okay, guys. All right. So not to waste too much time, let's end this one as scene 1. Okay. Now, what we are going to do is let's duplicate it. Let me save it first. So what we are going to do is let's duplicate scene 1 to have scene 2. Now let's open scene 2. Okay. Now with our scene 2 open, what we are going to do is we are just going to adjust the pivotal points, then change the image. Okay. So the waves, maybe I'll move the waves to maybe this corner, the corner here. The wipe, the first one, let me select the first one. Okay. Then move it to the middle here. All right. This one too, select it, then move it. So we are using position to move it. The next one, select it, then move it. The third one, select it also, then move it. Okay. So let's select all the wipes, then move them to this particular pivotal point. Okay. Let me move this one also. This wipe, then move it also to the other side. This one too will move to the other side. Okay. So you have something like this. See that? See. But in this case, we are just going to adjust the rotation speed of this. So this wipe, press R on the keyboard, then where it ends, okay, where it ends, let's see. So let me end it somewhere here. I'll decide to end this one at the bottom here, okay. Then this particular one, press R. Then this one, I'll end it somewhere here. Somewhere here we also do for this one. Okay. So let me see. The rotation of each of these, the wipe. Let me see. This wipe, this one, let me move it well. Looks like it's not centered well. Because I was in a hurry, I did not center it well, but I hope you guys grab what I'm trying to explain here. Okay. So let me duplicate this white. Okay, this particular one, I'll duplicate it, Control D, then rotation. Let me bring it out somewhere here so that I cover half of this. Now let me see the wipe here. Let me see rotation. Let me clear this one. So let me duplicate another wipe again, Control D. Okay, then rotate it to this side to cover this particular one. So what I'll do is I'll bring one of the slim ones. Let me see the red one. The red one. Okay, rotation. And bring the red one to the middle there and bring it back. It's also not positioned well, so move it to the center there. Okay, so this is okay. All right, so let's see the second scene. It's something like this. Okay. All right. So you can lay, let me lay one of the whites underneath this particular image. So let me see the whites. Let me duplicate this one, then lay it underneath it. That's bring it to the last end. Then rotate it. Okay, let me rotate it to somewhere here. Then I'll clear this particular point. So let's see. Okay. So duplicate the blue one, Control D, then rotate it, press R, then rotate it. Let's go backwards. Okay, to the last end here. So basically we have something like this. Okay. So let's replace the images in the scene. Okay. So picture 5. This is picture 5. Let me come to our picture com and see the kind of picture to use to replace that one. Okay, let me use this one. So hold the Alt key, then click and drag it to replace it. Okay. Then maybe scale it down. Then move the image, the face of the image to this particular position. See that? Then let's see this picture, this particular picture. Let's replace it with, let me see, this image. Hold the Alt key, then click and drag to replace it. Okay. Please, when doing this, take your time to do the arrangements. Because I'm in a hurry, I want you to understand, so I'm rushing to finish it. That's why I'm not paying attention to the arrangements. It will take too much time to finish this, okay? But when doing yours, take your time to do the arrangement. So when you rotate it like this, you see the pictures? Okay. So this particular picture, I can decide to fill the gap within some of these things by bringing another pictures into the scene. You see that this picture, how this picture came in, I can decide to use the masking tool to carve out a shape out of it here. You see? So that particular side will be slanted. Okay. So why is this place is slanted? You can decide to bring another image. That is, if you have a good image, maybe like this one, you can decide to bring it, then lay it underneath it. Then maybe bring it under here. So you bring it under here and push it to this side. So this will also do. Okay. Then the image on top here, right click on it, come to layer star, drop shadow. Okay. Then the distance, let's go 0. Then the size, let's spread it up a bit. Then reduce the opacity. Okay. Let me select the right image. So I'll click here, then click here. Now let me adjust it. Let me move this one to this side. Then move this one in. Let me set a point here. Then move this one out a bit. So I think this is enough. So folks, this is basically how I set the work up. Okay. But when doing it, take your time to arrange it nicely. All right. So maybe now we have scene 1 and scene 2. Okay. We can continue and create scene 3 too. Then change the images in the scene. All right. But for time purpose, let's use only scene 1 and scene 2. Okay. Now let's create a new composition. 1920 by 1080. 1920 by 1080. Let me name it final. Let me make the duration something like 15 or 12. Let me make it 12. Let me come to my picture com here. So I have a set of images. So I'll click and drag one image in here. Press the S key to set a key at the beginning. There may be something like the last end there. Scale it down. Okay. To animate it. So that you animate the scale. So the beginning, let me scale it up a bit more. All right. Now let me insert a new solid layer. and make it white. Let me bring it underneath the image. Okay, after inserting the solid layer, make the image a bit transparent. So let me see, let me make it something like 50 so that it will blend in with the white a little. Okay, so click and drag the wedding ring into the scene, then scale it down a bit. All right, so from here you can bring the first scene. Let me bring the scene 1. Click and drag it into our scene here. Let's see. Let me reduce the opacity here to something like 30. Okay. Yeah, 30 is okay. So you have something like this. Okay. So by the time it gets to 5 seconds or 4 seconds, we take it off. All right. So from here, let's come to effects and presets and type CC lens and apply it. Okay. So after applying it, open the effects, CC lens effects. Then the size, let's go 500 to bring the image to its normal position. Then the convergence, let's come to 0. Okay. Then set a key on all. Then move the timeline to something like 1 second or so. Then the size, let's go 0. Then the convergence, let's go 100. Okay. Then the convergence, you can bring it to the middle here. All right. So the center or the alignment, okay, I'll move it to this point where the next point starts. So let me move it to that particular point so that once it disappears, the scene 2 will follow. Okay, so now let's bring the scene 2. Scene 2. Okay, so once it's going and disappears there, you see, to disappear there. So let me open it up a bit more. Is it that? So let me see, the next one also ends somewhere here. So let me cut it here. Let me split it there. Come to the menu bar, then select split layer, then clear it. So you have something like this. You see that? You see? Okay, so the same effect, just copy it from here. Copy the effect. Then come to scene 2, then paste it. Okay. So you come to scene 2, then paste it. So it animates, then when it reaches here, it has to disappear. So hit E to bring out the effects. Let me bring it backwards a bit. Okay. So what I'll do here is I'll change its disappearance area to the middle here. So I'll position it in the middle here. Instead of the corners, then move this one here. So it will be like this. Okay. All right. So with this, we are done. So the next thing to do is just to create the text. All right. So I'll create a new composition, new, solid. Can make it white. Let me lay it under this. Then create a bar on top of this. All right. Then create another bar to divide this. All right. So let me see where this appearance starts from here. So I'll end it here. So I'll split it here. Let me split it and clear this one. So here, then the image at the top here, I'll duplicate this image. All right. Then you come to effects and type linear wipe. then apply it to the top one. Okay, so we come to change the 90 to something like 0, then wipe from the bottom to the middle somewhere here. Then the opacity, let's make it something like 40, so that the top picture will be more visible. Okay, or you can replace it with an image of the people doing the wedding. Okay, let me use this one. So I can bring this particular image. Okay, let me bring this particular image. So if it's up there, then apply the linear wipe to it, then go 0, then cut it. All right, so I'll split it somewhere here. So let me split it here. Okay, so this is okay. Then you write whatever you want to write. Our wedding. All right, so with this you are done. Okay, so let me bring this one up. Then select only the text here, then scale it down. So guys, this is basically how I set up my work. Then maybe the name of the people, you write it here. Okay, you write their name here, you choose a good font, maybe a stylish one. With this, we are done with our work. So let me bring it underneath this. So we have something like this. See that? Just simple arrangement, then you are done. Okay. But please remember, when doing it, take your time to arrange it well. Okay. Make the rotation of the solid layers revealing the images make sense. And if you have to have interest in the project file, request it here and I'll post it onto the Telegram channel for you to download. All right. See you next time.